This is the RV Advisor Podcast with your host, Tom Alexander. Get all the latest information, trends, advice from experts, stories from the road, and more in the world of recreational vehicles. Now, here's Tom.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the RV Advisor Podcast. I am Tom Alexander, and I've got a very special guest today joining us from the great city of Boulder, Colorado. Well, that's where he is right now. You never know where he's going to turn up because he's always on the road. It's AJ Forget. AJ, how are you?
I'm doing well. Very excited to be here.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you join us. And so Boulder now, so Boulder's just sort of a little bit of a stopover. Or are you going to be staying there for a while?
We're going to be here for a little while. So Boulder is actually, it's kind of our home base. My fiance, Ayana, grew up here and she's got a lot of family in the area. And we're actually getting married in, I think, 33 days in town. So.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations. That's fantastic. I love Boulder. It's a great town. Saw a great show there one time at the Boulder Theater, I guess it's called. And it's just a beautiful town. So this is interesting. I just love the backstory. When we learned about it, we said, oh, we really got to talk to this guy because you started out fighting fires, a wildland firefighter. And that means, these are the things you see on television, right? These are the big fire. I remember a movie a million years ago with John Wayne called The Hellfighters. And it was about forest fighting. Red Adair, I think he was sort of playing like a Red Adair guy, who was, of course, a very famous firefighter. You went out there and battled these blazes that were like, 200 feet up in the air, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
Unbelievable. I mean, let me ask you, just before we get into all the other stuff you're doing right now, that had to be just, you show up, you're ready to go, and you're taking on these fires. That there had to be moments where you're like, wow, this is pretty perilous. It's pretty scary.
Definitely. I would say for the most part with forest fires, we're a little bit lucky in that there's usually not as much life and property at risk as with structure fire. So we get to be a little bit more careful. And when things are really dangerous, often we're free to choose not to engage right there. That said, there are definitely some times that, things get a little hairy and you just got to get out of there.
Yeah. Wow. I just can't even imagine it. But I mean, I'm sure there's just extensive training that goes into this process.
Yeah, it's pretty much a constant learning experience. There's not too much training on the front end, but you learn a lot in the field.
I'll bet. Wow, that's amazing. So you did that. How long did you do that, by the way?
6 years, most of my 20s.
Yeah. So and then you decided, you know what? We'll let some other folks battle the blazes. The only blaze I want is in my frying pan. And so now what you're doing is you're cooking these amazing recipes on a 3-burner stove on the road in a 90 square foot bus. And just for giggles and everything, you decide to bring along your fiance and your dog, who your soon to be wife, as we're recording this, just about a month away. Amazing. So you guys are out on the road now. You are, as you stated earlier, you're a little bit in your kind of hanging in your hometown, and in your home state for a little while, for the foreseeable future. But you get out on the road too. You travel around, right?
Yeah, we've been full-time on the road for a little over 2.5 years now. We do stop into Colorado once a year to make sure that we get our registration renewed and all that, do all the necessary paperwork. But for the most part, on the road full-time.
Now, this 90 square foot bus you're talking about, is this something that you kind of put together on your own in terms of just, customizing it, or was this, give us a backgrounder on that.
Yeah, so it is self-converted. When I first met Ayana, we were both individually thinking about getting vans, and so pretty recklessly fast, about 3 months into our relationship, we ended up buying a short bus. It's about 22 feet long, like you've said, 90 square feet inside. It's a 2001 fan front. And then we spent about a year and a half converting it together, doing the design and putting it all together.
Wow, that's fantastic. And now it's home and it goes wherever you go. Or you go wherever it goes, however you want to look at it. But what's really the interesting takeaway from all this is you've got a cookbook out called the Buslife Kitchen cookbook, and it's basically to teach people who live in tiny homes, RVs, vans, buses, boats, so forth, how you can make what you call impressive meals in small spaces. Now, you can also bake without an oven. I got to hear about that. But we're going to talk about all that and some of the recipes on the flip side. We're going to take a quick break. I'm talking with AJ Forget, and he is the Buslife Kitchen man. He is traveling cross country, maybe coming to a town near you someday. We'll be back with AJ in just a moment.
Buying an RV is an exciting moment like buying a new house. You should inspect the RV and the contracts thoroughly. You may not know what to look for, and that's where the RV Advisor comes in. GGNR experts are here for you at thervadvisor.com.
We're back on the RV Advisor podcast. I'm Tom Alexander, and my guest is AJ Forget. AJ Forget is the author of the Buslife Kitchen cookbook. And, you know, AJ, I got to tell you, I'm looking at some of these recipes, and, well, let's see, as we're recording this, it's little after, it's approaching 4 p.m. on the East Coast. So I'm starting to think a little bit about dinner, and I'm looking at some of these, and it's like chicken tinga, right? Did I say that properly? Yeah. Shakshuka with goat cheese and Thai tea pudding, just some of the global recipes. So you sort of look to different points on the globe, around the world, to pull some of these recipes. Now, are these variations on existing recipes, or are the that you've sort of created on your own, given them your own bit of life?
Yeah, it's a mixture of both in the cookbook. There are some recipes that are total creations of mine, but a lot of it is taking global recipes, curating them for things that work in a small kitchen, and then simplifying them down to make them perfect for a 2-burner stove.
Yeah. So there you go. You've got this small stove, and you don't have an oven. So everything really is done stovetop in pots and pans, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And now, do you have a grill somewhere, or is it strictly just stovetop?
So the whole book was built entirely on the stovetop. We have a grill pan that we use for a couple of the recipes, but these days we do travel with a grill as well for the summertime, but not necessary for the cookbook.
Gotcha. Now, before we get into the whole oven baking without an oven, which I got to hear, tell us one of your favorite recipes, things that, something that you enjoy making on a regular basis.
I think as far as crowd pleasers from the cookbook go, the Hawaiian section is really, really popular. And it's tough to beat the huli huli chicken and Hawaiian mac salad plate lunch. It's a barbecue chicken with pineapple juice in there, and then just a really nice, sweet scallion infused mac salad. I think that of the owners of the cookbook, that's probably one of the most made recipes.
Yeah, no, you know what? That sounds absolutely delicious. I'm a big fan of food from the Pacific, if you will, and the Polynesian style, and Hawaii certainly falls into that. And Yeah, pineapple is, I can't get myself to put pineapple on pizza, but which I know for a lot of people is an absolute taboo. But some people insist it's delicious. But I love pineapple in general, and put into these kinds of dishes that you're talking about, the Hawaiian chicken. It is a wonderful addition, right?
Yeah, I agree with you about pineapple on pizza, but it's Ayana's favorite, so I end up eating a lot of it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So again, it's Hawaiian chicken, or what's the name of it?
Huli huli chicken, which
Huli
means
huli chicken.
turned chicken. It's sort of a like a rotisserie chicken.
I see. So it's the whole chicken. It's not just the breasts. It's you use all the everything.
Traditionally, it would be a whole chicken. For this recipe, I use just chicken thighs grilled with a nice marinade.
Yeah, a little extra fat from a little flavor more from the thighs than the breasts, which are not quite as rendering, if you will. I guess you can say, that renders a little more flavor, a little more.
Yeah.
Thai tea pudding. Tell us about that.
So, Thai tea is that familiar, brilliantly orange drink that you can get at a Thai restaurant. And, I love Thai tea, but I think that it's something that works really well in a pudding format for a more traditional dessert. So, it's a pretty simple recipe. You're just steeping some tea in milk, adding a little bit of cornstarch and cooking that until it makes that really nice consistency. And top with a little whipped cream. It's delicious.
Now, is that served warm or is that served chilled?
I would say serve it chilled, but
yeah,
could be good warm as well.
Interesting. Okay, now let's get to the big thing here. I mean, because I just when I read this, I was like, wait a minute, how baking without an oven? So I'm guessing some kind of a pot with a lid.
Yeah. So when we were doing our build, it's only 90 square feet in here, and we really just couldn't justify the oven. And as soon as we made that decision, I decided that I was going to have to figure out how to bake on the stovetop. And there's definitely a lot of trial and error, but at this point, we have it down to a science. We've made cookies, cakes, pies, pizzas. I even roasted a turkey for Thanksgiving on the stovetop.
Really? So do you have a particularly extra large pot that you use, or is this, and is the I guess the heat would be sort of a low to a medium heat?
Yeah, so the trick to it is we have like a large cast iron saute pan with a lid, and inside that you have to put a little wire cooling rack on the bottom to give yourself an air gap so you don't have that direct conducting heat. Beyond that, it's really about heating up the pot so that it's warm on all sides, and then turning the heat down to an appropriate temperature to just maintain whatever temperature you're looking for inside. And we actually slap a little thermometer from a wood stove on the side so that we have a better idea of what the internal temperature is. It's never going to be as good as an oven in a home, but RV ovens, from what I understand, are all pretty finicky anyway. So I think our system works just about as well as one of those.
Wow. Now, is this something you kind of came up with on your own, or did someone tell you about this, or how did that all pan out?
I looked to the Omnia stove or oven for inspiration.
Yeah.
But I really didn't want to buy one of those and have to carry around another piece of equipment and also cook everything in an oval shape.
Yeah.
I want to be able to make a pizza that looks like a pizza, or a pie that looks like a pie. And I figured if they could do it, I could figure out how to do it just as well. And
yeah,
I think it's a little bit more universal.
Boy, that's amazing. So now, how's the book doing, by the way, folks? How's the feedback been?
It's been great. The book has been out for about 10 months now. It came out in July of 2022. And right now we've sold 1,200 copies just about. And I haven't heard a bad review yet.
No kidding. And so how do people, like when folks find out about it? I mean, is it Are you getting a little bit of a boost from the publisher promotions, or is it self-published? How did you move 1,200 units so quickly?
Yeah, so it's self-published. I wrote the cookbook, did all the graphic design myself, everything except the cover I did personally. And then I raised money to print the first 3,000 copies via Kickstarter. So those copies arrived last summer, and Kickstarter was a great promotion tool. It got the first 300 copies out the door right away.
Wow.
And since then, it's been, podcasts and going to meetups and word of mouth.
Good for you. Well, listen, let's keep it rocking here. Tell the folks where you can get the Buslife Kitchen cookbook.
So Buslife Kitchen cookbook is available on my website, thebuslifekitchen.com, and also on Amazon.
Terrific. So there you go. The buslifekitchen.com. And of course, where else? Amazon, where you find pretty much everything. Wow, you know what? That is great. And you thinking about another one? I'm sure you've got a lot of recipes. So is there going to be a part 2, you think?
Oh yeah, it's already at least 3/4 done. I'm expecting that one to come out in 2024.
Good for you. Wow, that's great. So now after the wedding and you guys, first, I guess I got to ask you, are you planning a bus honeymoon, or are you going to go somewhere else? You're going to do something a little different.
We're not planning a honeymoon straight away. We have a really busy summer schedule with a bunch of events up in the Northwest. So pretty much as soon as the wedding is done, we're headed to Oregon for an event called Holy Toledo in Toledo, Oregon. But someday down the road, I think we'll do maybe an even more minimalist honeymoon, go backpack for a while around New Zealand.
New Zealand. Wow, great. Wow. Absolutely beautiful in New Zealand. Haven't been there, but everything I've ever seen, it's just captivating and almost like it's on another planet. Some really incredible scenery there. Well, AJ, we really appreciate your time. We'd love to have you back again when the next cookbook releases and find out about some more recipes. And again, folks, the buslifekitchen.com is where you can find AJ Forget. And do you put the accent on the first syllable or the second? Is it Forget or Forget?
Yeah, first syllable.
Forget. Forget. Great. Got it. And there you go, folks. AJ, thanks so much for taking time out to join us. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
And congratulations again on the upcoming big ceremony, the big day.
Thank you.
All right, there he is, AJ Forget from the Buslife Kitchen, and his book, The Buslife Kitchen Cookbook, available on his site as well as on Amazon. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander, thanking you for watching and listening. See you next time. So long, everybody.